Welcome back for the last time to the world of Red vs. Blue. It has been one hell of a journey, hasn't it? This has taken almost a full year, and expect there to be something when they are all a year old. So, well, when the first one's a year old. So prepare for that soon. By the way, new microphone. How do we feel about the new microphone? Give me a heads up in the comments what you guys think of it, because this is my first time actually using it. I've been a busy bee, behind the scenes. But anyways, so this has taken like a lot of time, like given how much time these take. But I suppose after this, I have a few more pseudo VHS horror things I need to run through sanity error before talking about them, because either way, it's either going to end up here or on Makerton. Check it out if you want unfiltered me talking about random hyperfixations. Anyways, shameless plug aside, it's kind of fun to finally get Red vs. Blue done, along with, this feeling of just sadness also, because it feels empty with it being gone, By the way, if I randomly stop talking, I'm, micromanaging my Spotify playlist while listening, because, I have ADHD, so sometimes I need to have something else going on, so I'm able to do this. Yeah, I don't feel like explaining it, but, Yeah, with that being said, we have about 4 more seasons to dive through. That gets pretty bad at some points, and kind of breaks the timeline a little, and does make things more confusing and overcomplicated, while pissing away Church as a character with a lot of character reductions, forced trauma, and some good trauma. Genuinely, everything with this season, there's so many upsides and downsides and missed potential. Without further ado, let's dive into the first layer of the hell that led to Red vs. Blue's death. Oh, by the way, I'm not talking about Season 0. None of you will ever get me to watch that fucking shit again. While I'll admit I had a much better view upon rewatching all of these seasons, I am not watching 0 again. I was so bored my first time watching it, despite the fact it should have interested me. I rewatched it once and thought it was so much worse. So I'm not even going to do that. Plus, it's no longer canon, or it kind of is, because of... Yeah, I'll explain it later, but yeah. There are just enough redeeming qualities for me to talk about this trilogy, and the movie's just good enough for me to talk about it anyways. So, yeah. Season 15. So this begins with the Reds and Blues setting something up. So it turns out this place is mostly just a place to... This is a place... What the fuck? Okay, I can't type. So essentially this place just has a few defenders, and it's pretty out of the way of anything. And the Reds set up something, right? And then it blows up, killing a bunch of innocents. Everyone is weird. No one has their classic weapons, and Church is alive? Damn, that's brutal! But he can't take off his helmet. He's an AI. Then we get the news reporter. I really like the Ideal and her character. Genuinely, Dylan is probably one of the best additions from this trilogy, because every character added afterwards is genuinely confusing in every single way, but Dylan is genuinely a well-written character. I'm not going to give this, the justice it deserves, so if you ever get the chance, go to the Blood Gulch Discord server and ask for the Google Doc, or watch it on YouTube. I don't know if some of those seasons are on YouTube. I just watched it through the Google Doc you get on Blood Gulch, but anyways. That being said, the reporter is, well, I like the Ideal. She does, anyways. I'll give them that. This is kind of funny. So it turns out course is peaceful, and the Reds and Blues are attacking and it's making Chorus seem like a bunch of evil villains. And Dylan has done so much research on them, she doesn't believe this has anything to do with them. So she does what Wash did and go back to the beginning. Frank, the cameraman, got replaced by Jax, who is the best new guy. I like him. He's a nerd. We get our classic lore drop, re-explain the same stuff we've heard 100 times. Then Sister reappears. She still lives on her own, and Sister hasn't changed a day. Her writing is the same it's been since Season 6. And Sister says she has nothing to do with them, but she knows her brother would never do this. And we learn of the AI known as Vic. Yeah, Vic's an AI. I mean, it was hinted at, and I kind of thought that during my first watch through. But it did take me as a bit of surprise because it never fully clicked in my brain, but that's just me. But Vic wants to die. Yeah, the AI wants to die. And he makes a deal. I help you, you kill me. Vic is kind of losing it, but to be fair, being cooped up in a cave for like years with like minimum interaction other than watching a bunch of horny people go at it in random bases, yeah. That's like being duct taped to the cuck chair and being forced to watch. So I don't blame him for wanting to die. He's probably seen awful things, especially knowing Sister and some of the shit she just says. So I don't blame him for wanting to die. But anyways, we don't know about what exactly happens in there. Get off of my microphone. Something like that. A spider dropped on my microphone. Anyways, we don't know a bunch about what happened in there, but then we see a mysterious man following them, and he has a horn. I fucking love this. This guy is a gag, and it is the slow burn one, and I fucking love it. It is so good. So, we are on the snowy planet where the Project Freelancer ship crashed, and it turns out every agent is either dead or missing. So all the freelancers are, well, gone. We then see the reds and blues, and we overhear them, and they don't sound normal. And then Dylan and Jax get ambushed by the reds and blues. All of them are firing when it randomly stops. Dylan then realizes a snowstorm is rolling in, but they try to get the reds and blues to talk about, and then she realizes it's not them. The weapons are wrong, the voices are wrong, it's not them. That strange man appears, and the man is known as the server. Dylan just says that's not them. Not the right weapons, not the right voices. Those aren't the real reds and blues. And why would people impersonate them? She decides to go to Chorus, and the UNSC has a brigade on Chorus because of what those fakers are doing. Someone shoots Jax, and she calls the police. She did. She shot him right in the ass, and is acting so fake, like you can tell. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. It just fucked with me and really annoyed me. We then go to the hospital, and Andrews is talking to Dr. Gray! Yeah! Gray's back! Man, it's been a while since we've seen Dr. Gray, hasn't it? Well, for you guys, it's been like, what? Almost a month, I think? Or 2 weeks? 3? 4? How long has it been? So, as of recording this, it's been 2 weeks, so by the time I get this up, it might be 3. So, anyways, with that being said, back to the script. So, yeah, they're we're back on chorus, right? And she is talking to Dr. Grape. She is aware that it's not the reds and blues. And then it turns out, the big reveal, the reporter shot her cameraman to get close to her and to potentially get an interview with, I'm trying to remember her name, with Kimball. So Dylan calls Adler, someone someone she knows and trusts. She needs dirt on the diplomat so she can have leverage to talk to Kimball, and it works. Kimball has some respect for Andrews for doing this, and Andrews she knows. I don't know why I read that. Anyways, and Dylan wants to talk to them to clear their name because she knows that it's not them. She is about the average news anchor character. I mean, but I like that. It gives her depth without having depth, because generally just by having a news reporter character, there's so much you can do with that, and they execute on it pretty much perfectly, which is something extremely difficult to do. Especially with news reporters in a series like this. Like, you have to balance jokes with a character, but hey, they did it. So, so she also says to give the reds and blues a message. So, and it turns out she get them a way out so they can be left alone, and she paid her debt. So, now that they know, Dylan is surprised that Jax is still coming along after, he got shot in the fucking ass. So yeah, they get to where the reds and blues have been hiding since the events of chorus. She walks around and finds my main man Caboose, and it goes about as well as you'd think.
Who are you?
Fuck.
Yeah, that's Caboose for ya. Yeah, oh my god, Iron Lung. The song is playing, and that's such a banger. It reminds me of the movie that's coming out soon, man. I'm so ready for that, anyways. Yeah, that Caboose. That's about Caboose. And that Blood Gulch riff playing was so good. We meet up with the rest of them, and Blood Gulch shenanigans is going on. Which, I mean, it's good. I liked it. Donut is being Donut. Caboose is somehow perfectly fine.
Man Caboose is terribly injured and possibly dead.
Oh no! Got Caboose! We need to go rescue him.
You're okay.
Oh, yeah. I fell down and stuff, but, I landed on my head, and that's okay, because that's the part that's most used to it. So, yeah, I'm fine. Things are good now. Yeah, I'm gonna go lay down. Now would be...
Then comes out the freelancers to set the situation straight, and, they have no idea what is going on, meaning they are definitely not the perpetrators. We then get a rundown of what's happened for the past, since season 13. It turns out they activated the Temple of Procreation. Griff and Simmons were locked in the closet. Yeah, that's about right. We then get a recap of everything that's been going on. Caboose did what he does best. Donut burned down the best water park, and Griff found mushrooms that are like crystal meth on crack, or crack on crack. Freckles got a tiny body. Donut managed to burn down a water park with lube, which I think that device, like, I'm just gonna say this: if you lather yourself up in lube, if you go down a slide and somehow start fire, I think you may need to get looked at, because you're defying, like, reality in some way. Anyways, so Sarge has done what he does best. We get into some, he's doing the average classic RVB stuff, average blood gulch shenanigans. The average Sarge things. Which, is a little bit of whiplash given what happened in the last arc. This is not regression, but this does jump things back to... But we do jump back to the sadness, and it's a little bit of whiplash. We do get the lore drop of how there are copies of the Reds and Blues impersonating them. And the freelancers are gone to do their mission, while the Reds and Blues do their mission, And it turns out they got a message from Church. The Blues want to find Church, and it was the Alpha Church, not Epsilon. We know the Alpha died, so we need to do 2 missions. The freelancers to find the other freelancers, get and while the Reds and Blues get the relays to find the messages and where they came from. Sarge is happy the peace is over, and dear God, White Team Sarge, what the fuck?
Lives and our very livelihoods are at stake. We must fight back against these whites. Whoa! I knew the day might come when the white team once again raised its plaintive face in our war-friendly valley. They've done it before. The Meta, Agent Wyoming. And now the whites are back to take it all.
Sarge, you're bordering on really offensive territory.
Borders? Ha! Whites don't care about borders. They go where they want, take what they want, and leave nothing in their wake but indie rock and smoothie shops. Blah!
But Sarge, I'm reddish-white.
That's why you're our ace in the hole, Donut. You are the only one who can walk between worlds. You'll be our white spy.
Tumblar ba'a odiar esto.
You must act white, Donut. Ski. Take up golf. Spend way too much time trimming your lawn.
I'm one step ahead of you already.
And don't forget to pop your collar.
Sarge, I'm not sure. As your second in command, I have to question the long-term strategy of this particular course of action.
Wow. This is surprisingly funny, especially, like, with Rooster Teeth. They're really good at walking that line between satire and edgy, which is I really like that. But yeah, Vic is the AI she turns out to have, which, how else would she really get an AI, especially a dumb AI? Because even in the world of Red vs. Blue, keep in mind, getting any AI is a little difficult after Dr. Leonard Church decided to create an AI of his own and then break it down psychologically and mentally until you got enough fragments to do what you want. I don't blame them. But, like, that's how she has an AI, it's just big. And it turns out she was on the front lines of the Great War, which, given how deadly the Great War is in Halo alone, even if we assumed it's dumbed down in the Halo universe, that is still a horrifyingly scary event. So Griff is missing, so they try to find him, and she tries to get Griff out of the cave, and he is pissed that there is a new mission. He wants to quit, but he always did what's right. And, sorry, a little tired. So, Andrews lays down all the evidence showing that he is a good person. He then loses his fucking shit. Griff comes in to say, I'm done, I quit. You guys are no longer my problems. And they kind of have to accept that he quit. So, what? There he is on the ground as they leave. They find another relay, and it turns out these relays are made out of extremely simple components of doing hyper-advanced stuff. Which, you'd be surprised what simple components can do with the right will behind it. Anyways. So, yeah. Anyways. So the relays are there to just keep the signal going over and over and over. Somebody's trying to get the reds and blues' attention using church as their vector. We don't know why, and we don't know how. But, anyways. We get a pretty, we get some jokes, but, I mean, they're okay. I mean, I didn't particularly find them funny, but, I mean, just blood gulch shenanigans. Sarge hasn't slept in 5 days, which in theory could be canon to Halo, because there are combat stims that can keep people awake for like a week, if I remember correctly. I don't know, it's been like a few months since I've read Halo Oblivion. I think that's what the book's called. I don't remember. I didn't much care for it when we got to the subplot of children pirates using spider mechs to get around a plan. Once we got there, I lost the plot, man. Remember when Halo was just about glowing balls made by ancient gods that are humans but old? Remember back when that was the lore? Man, I miss those simple, simple times. Ow, stop. Stop. Sorry, the cat was viciously attacking me for no reason. Anyways. So they split up to explore the urban area so they can cover more ground to get out of there quicker. And Caboose follows Simmons because he is scared. We get a look into Caboose's mind and his worldview, which is just perfectly simple. Which I really do enjoy because it shows that Caboose isn't stupid. Because that's the thing that I feel like a lot of people get, take away from Caboose is he's a big, stupid, dumb. No, it's just like, given how he's seen the world since he's joined the Reds and Blues, it just really shows that he's just simple. It's not a lot to him. Which, I mean, I really don't blame him for thinking church isn't dead and anybody can come back if you care enough, because that's what he's seen. Simmons doesn't really believe in that stuff because, I mean, it's Simmons. I'm pretty sure when it comes to Simmons, it's a lot of... He's a stereotype, but I can't exactly pinpoint it because he's not a stereotypical nerd. But at the same time, he isn't anything. He is just a character at this point, which is surprising because all of them are stereotypes in their own way while having an additional character. But whatever Simmons is, I have no godly idea because I think whatever stereotype he was originally meant to be kind of died out during the Blood Gulch Chronicles. So I can't even gauge it. Anyways. So yeah, Simmons is scared of snakes, if you remember that from Season 5, I think. We then get an Evil Dead homage, which is just Jax following Tucker. Which I really like, because I watched the original Evil Dead during Halloween. It is Halloween, it is Halloween. Well, it was Halloween, it is now January 3rd. January, right? Yeah, it's January. I don't know. January and June get mixed up in my brain, despite the fact they're like... there are multiple months apart. It's just June and January get mixed up in my brain because they sound similar. Anyways, so... they prepare to leave after getting the next location, and we see the bounty guy standing over his friends' bodies. They're knocked out. Turns out they knocked each other out via Sarge needing sleep, Simmons fear of snakes, and Caboose pretending. And he serves Tucker court papers for child support. This joke is peak. I love this joke. He then regrets the temple of procreation. I love this joke. This is genuinely how I've heard some of these situations go. Some just strange guy comes in all suspicious like and serves you papers. I like this joke because it was just this guy, beyond intimidating, willing to walk in front of gunfire, is the same guy serving court papers. I loved it so much. Tucker is depressed. I mean, I don't blame him. Like, 20 women suing you is something to be greatly scared of. Because, like, 20 people, that right there is what you call, you should be very scared. Anyways. Now the other reds and blues are finding them. The Bizarro versions. They even have Bizarro names. Which, like, so I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off now. They're like prototypes. But yet, they all have these, like, really, like, oh, Bizarro names. And it makes it weird. Like, I don't think anybody's last name is Surge. And if there is, I am sorry for absolutely disrespecting by saying your name doesn't exist. Surges as a last name. Nah, that doesn't exist. But that brings up the question. So Donut is the last name. And Simmons is the last name. Griff is the last name. We don't even know what Sarge's name is. Is that first, middle, or last? We don't know. Anyways. So they arrive at the different canyon. Caboose uses himself like bait, or rather, he did. They bump into the Bizarro versions of himself, which is a cool ideal. Loco 8 is... Why did I put 8? Loco is Caboose's Bizarro temple-ish church. Caboose is, like, supernatural. He literally teleports. That's the first mention of a fake church. Anyways, Temple explains they are just another set of Sim Troopers. The Reds and Blues... The Blues and Reds. He is claiming the UNSC is killing off everybody involved in Freelancer. And they think the Alpha is captured by the UNSC. This confused me. I'll explain when we get to the reveal, but this confused me because I was like, why now? At all? Like, listen, I feel like even Caboose could be like, but Alpha died. Alpha dead. Real dead. We have Epsilon. You know? Anyways. And now they are under attack by the UNSC. Sarge is glad to be in command, and, you know. And damn. There are 2 donuts. And it's making me go crazy because, man, I can't listen to that much donut. That is way too fruity for even my sense of humor. Anyways, Tucker does what he does best and kicks some ass with this plasma sword. And donuts, both of the donuts are just immune to death. At this point, I don't think it's a joke. I think they're just... Let's see, like, they're, like, not allergic to bullets. Or, what would the joke be? They're immune to bullets. or something because they just can't die. Lopez and the Italian Lopez are, get broken. And now they are underwater base, They don't know Sarge's real name because, nobody does. Dimple butters up Church. Not Church, but butters up Tucker. Temple is suspicious of the reporter and sows discourse between them. And they have Doc. And it turns out the reds and blues are the copies. This was a prototype facility. The reporter defends themselves after Church is just like, you just want a story. And they're like, no. If we did, we would have just reported on all the bad things and not the good things. Because that's how you sell good papers. So Sarge just kind of joined the Blues and Reds. Simmons hates Gene Bizarro Simmons, which I like the joke that people who are so full of themselves can't stand themselves. I always love those jokes because it's like, oh my god, so peak. So, Loco, or Bizarro Caboose, seems to have a knack for tech. Meanwhile, the freelancers are looking for Illinois. Demolitions expert. And compared to the others, he was just doing a job. Carolina laments. And the lighter. She still has it. And she feels like when she gave up on York, she lost her only chance to start over. And Wash is like, no. Take off your armor. Which, it's because he wants to activate the recovery beacon to trick whoever is hunting them to come there. Bait. And Carolina being like, whoa, that's a little forward there. It's just so funny. I really like it when they have these little jokes that are completely story relevant. And it makes sense when it comes to Washington. Genuinely, I think he's the type of kid in high school to be just so socially awkward, but just be the most overall chill guy once you get to know him. That's the kind of vibes I get off Wash. Carolina and Wash is suspicious of, Temple. I was trying to remember his name. Because I'm looking at the script, I didn't write everything down because I have the memory of a gerbil, so I forget things insanely easily. Completely forgot everything I was saying. I got a notification on my phone and then watched Instagram Reels for 2 hours. I completely forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry. I literally got distracted for 2 hours. I need Anyways, Carolina wants to get back at the UNSC without blood, which, kind of fucking valid. I mean, so Temple offers them a tour, and there's a ton of armors in this vault. Smells bad, and, well, there's bodies in those armor. Temple is killing the freelancers. Temple was scared Carolina would recognize his voice. And he, armor locks them. Because, he could never be Carolina or Washington. But he knows without food or water, life support will fail. extremely quickly. So yeah, he is planning to kill the Reds and Blues before they find out. And we get a Bible reference. Not what I expected from him in a pretty, so far mid-season. So they trick Sarge into being distracted while Dylan searches for information. Dylan almost gets captured. She tries to get Tucker on board, and Tucker doesn't believe a word Dylan says, but he trusts her enough to tell her where to look. Then the video locked up. Yeah, this sometimes happen. I have no idea why. So there was a lot of editing problems with this season from what I've heard. So sometimes the video locks up. And it seems you get your own copy, because the copy that I had access to, it showed the water park before freezing. Yeah, no, not the one I originally watched. Nah, that entire scene was bricked. I'm surprised Rooster Teeth has never fixed that. It's been up for years now, from what I remember. Anyways, Vic helps, and Dylan learns the truth. But, well, she gets caught. And we get a flashback to when the Blues and Reds were fighting. Biff, or Bizarro Griff, was really close to, Temple. Turns out they were separated on different teams, and it was on purpose. It's always on purpose when it comes to Freelancer. The plan, get him on medical discharge. 2 Freelancers coming. Man, I wonder what 2 new Freelancers... Hey, they mentioned Illinois earlier. That would be really fun to learn some new lore, about 2 completely different Freelancers, please, God, tell me it's not fucking Carolina and Tex. This right here.
This makes no fucking sense.
Huh. I am so tempted to load up Halo 3 Firefight and start complaining. I am getting real tempted. This doesn't even work with the timeline canonically. She couldn't be here. And all of her choices are not choices she would make. She was tactical, not stupid. This is Season 9 post-Freelancer, not pre-fall Freelancer. And they make her so not Carolina. Characteristics, right? She's a caricature. And she does one-liners. She never did one-liners. The joke with the music was funny. Okay, I'll give it. But it is just fucking lame, and it undermines the fighters. I would rather the joke be funny that it mildly affected it. But when a slow song came on, and the fight became slow... Anyway. The gag ends, and they actually do it in a kind of tasteful fucking way. So, I will admit, I really do enjoy this season. It is great upon a rewatch, right? But there are parts that genuinely make me mad. See, I love the jokes. Keep in mind, my favorite part was Season 15. Well, not Season 15, but my favorite trilogy was, well, not trilogy, but series, was the Blood Gulch Chronicles. Why, like some others now, I just prefer the Blood Gulch Chronicles because I like funny things. But see, you need to do it right. You can't just do a dumb gag and be like, laugh, it's funny. And, I don't know, anytime they try to do Carolina, they just make her seem like an asshole. Like she was. There's a difference. She was tactical, not stupid. Anyways, she then uses Biff as a shield. She wouldn't do that now. Or then. Biff being killed due to a training accident. Now, yeah, that checks. That makes sense. That I would expect. She was never heartless. This is the problem with writing old Carolina. They always get it wrong. In my opinion, because she's not stupid. She's not brain dead. No, she's smart. She's tactical and not heartless. Even back then. Like, that's the thing. She was closed off. Not an idiot. It's one of those things that get me, like, really heated. Because Carolina is a really well-written character. And, I don't know, sometimes that stuff, like, spits on it, and it makes me so angry. Like, I get it. Bernie was more so working on Ruby, I believe, during the time. But, like, man. Anyways, so, me trying to figure out where I was, because, yeah, that checks. She was never heartless. That's the problem, yeah. Anyways, I'll get my chance to bitch later if I do. Then we get to present day, and he was just lore dumping everything. Bizarro Caboose says he can give Caboose a way to say goodbye to church. Sarge tries to get therapy from Lopez in a fucked up kind of way. And, you know, Simmons is doing the same thing along with Donut. And, you know, they start to figure out that the freelancers are gone. The reporter is tied up in the basement. Turns out Donut is a furry. You know, I'm not surprised, you know. This checks, you know, another one of the boxes. You know, the box of... You know, I bet Donut could do that. That's off the bingo card. Donut's a furry. Click that off your bingo card if you had one. Yeah, not a lot of people talk about this, like, one portion. I mean, technically, you could say it's not canon. But I don't care. Donut's still a furry. That's why he wasn't in the last season. He was at a FurCon, I swear. That last part is just me fucking around, but anyways. So, Tucker figures out that the blues and reds are the bad guys. This had potential. Wasted potential. Genuinely, the blues and reds being a evil version of them had potential that was definitely spoiled, right? While it is handled pretty well, their motivation is what really gets me, you know, that really gets my panties in a twist. The motivation and the freelancers that did it is what pisses me off. If they use either completely new freelancers, or they, like, overall, watch the season. I genuinely really did like it upon a rewatch. It's just, there are parts that really make me mad, and this is one of them. Anyways, I can't wait to air out my grievances. I'm sorry for that. The reds and blues from the Blood Gulch Chronicles are here, you know. Same clowns. I love them. Remember, you know, the ones from Battle Canyon, or, you know, the ones that died and came back, that had the religious nut job, you know. The Beast is here! He sent us for the 1,000-Year War, or whatever. The one that had to go take out his trash. I liked them. I was glad to see them come back. That was funny. Everybody flips on Tucker. Simmons is tricking them. Caboose immediately blows his fucking cover. So they run and, you know, trying to find the freelancers. They find a torpedo, so they use Lopez, the heave, to send a message. Lopez gives us a fucking Star Trek reference. He gets duct taped by Locust. Griff is losing it on the planet. You know,
lost his mind.
Yeah, I know some of you guys are going to be like, dude, what the fuck? I can move the mic. I can
touch you.
I can touch the microphone. It was over the second I had access to the microphone. I can touch. Unlike the other one, I can't touch that. Otherwise, it'll make loud noises that make my ears. Just so you know, I'm going to edit this, so I'm probably going to hear my loud self more than you guys will ever, unless you watch this video like 4 fucking times. I mean, I'd appreciate the watch hours, but like, just know I have to hear myself at least 4 times to re-go over the video here and there.
That's not mentioning if I mess up, so I might hear my loud voice more.
Keep that all in mind, people. Anyways. Oh. Griff, it's kind of losing it, and really does regret abandoning the team again. I'll talk about that later. The joke drags on for way too long, and turns out Griff learns Spanish to play, what's his name? Oh no, my phone is near my microphone, and the microphone manual says don't let your phone be close to the microphone, otherwise it will make it not work. Don't you love, $7 microphones being uniquely better than webcam ones just because it isolates my voice rather than the entire room? Yeah, I enjoy that too. So, yeah. So Griff is like super talkative, and you know, making sure. Temple is making sure Sarge doesn't turn on them, and Locust is playing Temple like a fiddle, and he doesn't even know how Griff tries to make up. So Griff tries to make up, and it turns out the message is a archive. They tricked Caboose, okay? They sealed his fate with a death warrant. How dare you ever fuck with Caboose? Tucker, well, he's really not happy about Temple bullying Caboose. Temple continues to lie to Sarge. Caboose is now in a depressed state, and Griff reveals that this is part of the plan so Locust could get the freelancers. Carolina is trying to get ready for a fight, but she's clearly out of it because their life support systems failed, which could be because of armor lock. To be fair, I don't understand how the Mjolnir armor works in the Red vs. Blue universe, because it seems to be really built off of lore we learned throughout each iteration. And given how this was made in Halo 5, I believe the Halo 5 engine, yeah, I kind of fuck with it, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a really neat ideal. It's just, I wish I understood how the fucking armor worked. But it is consistent, though, I'll give it that. Anyways. It turns out that the Blues and Reds stole a generator from a colony that Locust was looking over. And, well, now he wants to get revenge on them. Wash and Carolina are past the point of return health-wise, so Sarge switches sides of the good guys after saving the reporters. Sarge says, I saved your life, please lie to them. We then switch. I was planning to switch at the last moment from day 1. In comes Locust, so Sarge frees the Reds and Blues. Sarge admits he blinded himself so he could feel like he was a military agent again. And now that's good character development. Some good, some bad. Mid-season charm overall. They split up into 2 teams. And with that classic Griff and Simmons, they made up, Tucker runs in and starts doing the blood gulch classic of doing things and hoping it works out. Well, Wash walks out into the middle of the fight and gets shot in the throat. They load Wash up and get him to the hospital, and Tucker feels like he's responsible. So the device is a drill. And the power source is the part They don't know. They plan to tunnel to get to the UNSC base, and Vic, the Reds and Blues, are a little peeved at his presence. So they have a lore-accurate UNSC base on Earth, which, I mean, it'd be Oni, but that's besides the point. Yeah, if they brought Oni into the RVB universe, I know why they didn't, probably because, you know, Oni, they do unethical stuff, and then, they're actually evil, so, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Tracks. Dylan figures it out. Griff talks to Tucker. Tucker's bummed out about all the mistakes, and Griff admits that Tucker's the best chance they have to doing this. So they finally go to Earth to stop the Blues and Reds. Griff is good at flying, which, makes sense, but they still crush the ship. So they need to figure out how to destroy them. So, Griff eats the meth mushrooms and to distract them. And the Puma is ready for its main voyage once more. They use the advantages of the Reds and Blues in battle again, which I love. And it turns out the machine, how it works is it can and will work, okay? It's a time machine. It opens a wormhole that uses the power from two different realities combining to draw the power out to, power the device. Which it is also a doorway for Caboose to say goodbye. And to power the drill, Wow, this is complex as fuck. Tucker then decides to, punch a tank to death, which
makes sense.
Just saying. And this begins the process of turning on. So we get some fun as they raid the base. It goes really well. Sarge has his final battle with Surge. And we finally get to finish Sarge's arc. Tucker continues his mission.
Simmons!
Shoot him, Griff! Hurry! No, Griff, shoot him! He's Gene! Griff, don't listen to him. I'm the real Simmons. He's lying, Griff. Shoot him!
Shit!
I can't hold it, Griff. Shoot him!
Why are we here?
What?
I said, why are we here? Answer me now!
Because we need to stop these evil fucks, that's why. No, we don't know why we're here. It's still one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Ow! Ah! Oh, thanks, Griff.
No problem, dude.
Help! I'm sorry I tried to kill you. It wasn't personal. Oh, help me up, Simmons. Help me up. We can work on inventory spreadsheets together. We can quote Star Wars and solve quadratic equations.
What are you thinking?
I mean, he is all the way over there. Maybe we can come back for him later. What? What are you talking about? I guess I'm just feeling kinda lazy.
This right here, that right there is peak fiction. While this season does have some problems, Griff and Simmons are a really great dynamic here, and I think it is done extremely well. Anyways, so Tucker gets his sword back and is confronting Temple. He has fully fucking lost it. Caboose being immune to armor lock is, consistent. He fucking quoted Churchill as he monologues, and in comes Trauma to allow them to capture Temple. But the machine fully activates, which allows Caboose to say goodbye. And Caboose gets to finally get that goodbye.
Caboose? Rookie, what the hell are you doing up here? You're supposed to be guarding the flag. What the fuck, guys? I came up here for some peace and quiet.
What on earth is happening?
Loco's machine opened a portal to the past. She's Dylan, try to keep up. Oh, no freaking way. Hurry, Caboose. You don't have long. Caboose! Pull him through! No, Tucker. I know what I need to do.
Seriously, what the fuck is happening right now? Is there something in the water?
Church, there's a lot of things I never got to say, and I know I won't get another chance to say them, so... I think you are cool. Like super awesome, amazing cool. And I always felt like really awesome, too, when we were hanging out together. You know, I never really felt sad when you died, because...
What do you mean when I died?
Shh. I never felt sad when you died, because I couldn't imagine a world without you. But I know it's real. I know. And I'm sad. Things really aren't okay without you. But I know with my other friends, who even if you add them all up together, aren't really as cool as you. I know we're all gonna be okay. I know we're all gonna be okay. I know we're all gonna be okay. Go back to heaven now, church, and say hello to Loco when you get there. He was alright too.
Alright.
This right here had me tearing up. Caboose. The way he talks. The mannerisms.
Dudes, dudettes, and duderinos. If you're hearing this message, that's because I can't get to the phone right now. It also means I had to race my cabeza to save the day for all y'all. You're welcome. And your old buddy Vic only has one more thing to say to you dudes. You know, there are so many stories where some brave Heroni steps up and goes and gives their lives to save the day. And because of it, the good guys win, the survivors all cheer hooray, and everybody lives happily ever after. Except for Vic. Oh yeah, I'm out of here. Leave a message after the beep, compadres, but I won't check it because I'm in the eternal infinity. This is Vick signing off. And if anybody backed me up, I will punch you in the nuts.
So yeah, I wasted all day. I gotta get this done. Damn, they know how to make another sacrifice actually hit. So don't get zapped with time machine stuff. So yeah, they get back up and Sister tags along because, well, we tie up the story with an end to a season. This right here wraps it up. And as a fun season, while I admit I do have some moaning and groaning to do overall I did like the season, although I do have some problems with it, like they handled things that were handled poor. The blue and reds were so close, but shoving Carolina in Tex was really fucked. Like, hey, you know what would be fun? Literally any other fucking, you know, anything else. Like, misplaced anger, misplaced sense of anger. All freelancers, not just Illinois, that he was mentioned. That could have been such a great plot point, but they did nothing with it. And there is a lot of plot points that do get tied up, or somewhat tied up. I mean, overall, it's an okay season. Just a lot of missed potential, you know? I mean, it's better than some of the other things that'll happen in the next seasons, from what I remember. This is when really confused, because, you know, the writers decide, you know what? Fuck story, only confusion. And no, it's season 16. I have no idea what I wrote. I'm gonna be honest. It's like 1 a.m. and I'm like struggling to keep my eyes open, so my brain is like mush. My brain is that of mashed taters. Anyways, music keeping me from absolutely crashing out. Season 16. We get to see in medieval times as a portal opens up behind them. We go through, we go into it, we get a voice explaining, so, explaining what's going on as they get into the ship planning to grab some grub so they get Caboose to look for Donut. He is currently in the process of defining all known laws of universe, reality, and time, all simultaneously. Before Caboose returns to the group, he says he's gone. So, they leave. Instead of being concerned about their friend, they're just like, you know what? He's fine. He's immune to death, like every other season. Anyways, so they leave. And they're just ducking lights. And, this has something to do with... what the fuck is going on? One of the lights goes to a planet near a black hole, ? The final prophecy of the fucking Pizza Quest. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck's a Pizza Quest? So, Griff crashes the Pelican, and one of the lights is following Caboose. They find a glowing lake of, it's glowing gold, and Caboose, just arises and walks on water. Donut is doing some time shit or whatever. And Griff is doing preemptive laziness to prevent the adventure. So they head to a pizza place, but it's destroyed. So Donut uses the time gun to go back to when the pizza place was open. So gods want to kill them to fix the past. Some strange shit, man. The goddess of death comes down so she can kill them. And Sarge is in love. We witness the death of Pizza Place. Bullets don't work on her, so the light follows Griff as they portal somewhere else because but Donut is like Time Jesus or whatever. Jesus, the plot of this season is so dumbfoundingly stupid. I feel like just by talking about it, I lose 3 brain cells. So yeah, they use the portals to go somewhere else in time. So Griff and Doc are in the past and are trying to figure out how to get back to the present. Doc feels slightly bad about, dealing with the blues and reds. And Griff and Doc press the shuffle button to go to a random time. So Sister and Tucker are going on, adventures in sex. Sex ventures, you could even say. That's a weird subplot. And Tucker feels like he got hit by, like, a brick. Like, a lot of character reduction, especially given what happened last season alone. Sarge wants to fix his, biggest military failure. Sarge was apparently really good at morale, but, he caused it this time, or was it always meant to be this way? We don't know. Lopez gets fixed by Caboose. The Caboose we see didn't do what he thought what we thought. I don't know what the fuck I wrote, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, the Caboose that lost his penny was the one we saw at the beginning, but it also isn't. Anyways. Tucker has a lot of character regression, just a fucking ton. Sarge is trying to going over and over, trying to get, getting the world's best soldiers. But every single good one in history. So, yeah. Griff goes back during college, so instead of pizzas, they see calzones and strombolis. Pizza wasn't invented in this timeline, and I want to be honest. Aren't calzones and strombolis the same fucking thing? Like, I've had a stromboli and I've had a calzone, and they looked exactly the same to me. I don't know if I'm just, like, stupid or something, but they look the same. They tasted the same. But there's a difference between that and, like somebody said a pizza sub is the same as a calzone, and that's a sin. I think we can all agree on this. But Charboli and calzone, they're the same thing. I want to be honest with you. Anyways. So, Griff, upon learning pizza doesn't exist in this timeline, attempted to kill himself. We have more character regression. I know I'm saying it long, so... Like, I understand it's so they can expand on another option, but still. So, Tucker double cockblocks himself, which... Imagine cockblocking yourself in 2 different times. That right there is what you call permanent virginity right there. That's what you call the virginity shield. It is so palpable. You cockblock yourself in 2 separate timelines at this point. The fuck I'm talking about, man? I'm losing my mind. Anyways. So... The Reds want to go back and prevent Temple from doing all of the stuff. This Sarge accidentally went to the future by a year when the movie was happening. So yeah. So we got a pantheon of gods. It's like Greece and Norse influence mixed together. Whether that's a joke or a reference, I am unsure, because this fucked with me for like half an hour. Genuinely. I actually stood up and my brain genuinely hurt so much figuring out what the fuck is going on. Like, my brain genuinely felt like it had an aneurysm trying to figure out what is going on. It is 2 separate mythologies being glued together with fucking sticky tack. That makes no sense, and that's my fucking point. Oh no, it made me angry. Anyways. So they decide whether to attack, or, you know. So they decide to attack because why not? Why give the mortals a chance? Smite their asses. That's what I say. Anyways. So Griff sucks at fixing time that allows pizza to exist. Doc wants to save time by saving stuff and people. So Tucker keeps cock-blocking Sister. Doc trauma dumps and goes, like, you know, very, very, very sensual. Then a time portal opens and we get kind of god-like Zeus. Yeah. Man. I can't read what I'm saying. So the Zeus, like thing agrees to let Doc do... No, Griff agrees to let Doc do his thing a bit. Then O'Malley returns after Sister and Tucker got smited. But the him was, the thing. Which is funny. Given how the form of Krovos is a woman. I don't know. That could have been a joke, but I never got it. It confused me. I mean, I don't know. It's Bernie. Yeah, he probably thought it was funny. Anyways. Character regression. Yeah, poor Tucker. While we get growths in other ways for other characters, this kind of fucks his literal entire character progression. And Griff is, he's talking to the sentient lens flare and is trying to get back to, the present. So Tucker is failing at the simple task of killing a giant and manages to take it down, not kill it. So it gets back up after a gag. Sister forgot the sword only works for him, so they decide to power punch him right in the balls. They decide to leave because, before the wife gets pissed. So, yeah, portal appears behind them, and out comes the titular 2. So, Carolina and Wash are having a moment. So Wash wants to do a race with Carolina on the training course, so we have some fun working with them. And Wash has a lapse in memory after bonking his head, and he yells at Carolina, but she's concerned that mentally he's not fully there. Gray says about the only thing you can do is wait and hope, which, when it comes to brain injuries, that does kind of make sense. Like, the fuck you're gonna do? It's all in the brain. The brain is a organ that doesn't like to, you know, collide with your skull, and it needs oxygen. So without that, you tend to, you tend to lose your mind. Anyway, so Watch keeps retelling story. These lapses are worse than we thought. Here's a really sad lie. This subplot so far is the best part of the whole season because it has weight behind it. Anyway, so they go to the cameraman and he made the temple scene. Wash doesn't remember it well, and Carolina is trying to get the reds and blues because she thinks they fell through time because of what Dylan showed them. And Sarge explains that he was time travel. We then go back to Griff and Sparky. So Griff lies to Sparky and tells the story to a movie, you know, Die Hard. Sparky knew Griff was lying, you know. Griff has a therapy session with them, so we're back to present times with Sarge, Carolina, Wash, and Simmons. Simmons shows time travel is real. Jax explains the two types of time travel and science fiction, because Simons, I'm finally fucking losing it. So Simmons explains it defies science. So how Paradox works is either free will exists, and then comes out Caboose and Lopez. We get a slideshow. Caboose literally changed the entire fabric of time itself. So we go back to the time period where Griff and Tucker's sister is. The sentient lens flare is Huggins. I completely forgot her fucking name. Anyways, Tucker went into full insane shit, which, I don't know, doesn't make sense with this character. That's the problem of the season. Poor Tucker. He really, he's not the one fucking, he's the one getting fucked in this season. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. It's 1:20 a.m. I want to go to sleep. I have to wake up at 6:30 tomorrow. You know what? I should just take a lot of caffeine and not sleep. You know what I mean, man? Anyways. So, yeah. Donut appears and no one is really listening to him. Tucker is so confused by everything, so Tucker tries to do his speech and then dips. Wash sees a recreation when he got shot in the throat, and as Wash watches, something happened. Full PTSD. So Donut goes to the same time as O'Malley is, so Donut can talk to God! And, ask for one thing. No. Huggins is talking of what to say to the council, you know. And then, you know, she manages to convince them to at least talk. So much, all of it confuses me. So, yeah. We're at present time, and Huggins tries to give them a warning. So you have a talk with, you know, gods. Better than I thought. It went better than I thought, genuinely. So Tucker and Sis, Sis tries to give him the ability, but, you know, it kind of falls apart. Shows how regressed they made Tucker. So Donut comes back when everyone is reunited. Everyone is trying to get back together to go to the Pantheon. So Jack suggests we do a test, what the timeline looked like. And it looks like a dick and balls. I love this show. Wash laps all the way back to the post-learning of church. And they are at the Pantheon. And we get some funny... And then Atlas lore drops like everything. Krovos, the Gods 1.0, Slave Children, God Killed Titans, yeah. Dear fucking God. This hurts my fucking brain. It is combining 3 different mythologies and acting like, oh yeah, that works. It hurts my brain. But to be fair, I have music blasting in my ear, so... Otherwise, I'm going to lose my mind. I can't tell if I'm overwhelmed or my brain is completely lost of all shit. Anyways. So, I'm seeing patterns. So they reveal they aren't gods. They're AIs. And it turns out they have fucked up. Turns out the Reds and Blues have fucked up most of the time. And there is a way to fix it if they seal him once more. The Pantheon gives them an option. Wash does his usual pep talk, doing it perfectly to prepare. Because that pep talk, Carolina breaks the news, and he loses it over this. She can't say anything. Donut goes to do something. Tucker and so Krovos' time gun is going to be used to save Washington, creating the ultimate paradox. Jenkins reveals that he was working with Krovos the whole time as the Reds and Blues prepare for one hell of a fight to save him. They are scheming and accidentally alert one of them to take down stealthily. Donut brings a hammer to God. Griff smells pizza, meaning someone is there messing with them. It's Jenkins. He uses the pizza as an apology for erasing it, because he set up all of it. He was on the board with O'Malley, Donut, but O'Malley stops Donut from destroying Krovos, meaning while Jenkins is going, crazy, Donut and O'Malley have a good old-fashioned fight. Turns out, Jenkins knows about the Reds and Blues scheme, and if it works, the timeline will break. Donut wins and heads to finish this, but saving Wash would cause a paradox, and like that, paradox achieved. We are now on to season 17. It's almost over. Man, we got this in a movie to talk about. After that, I'm gonna clock out. I am so tired, man. So, people are having deja vu while they're in the past. Jenkins is making sure he changes things to weaken the walls so Krovos can leave. Donut is on his own, and the ideal, it's kind of fucked up the past to create new timelines. Ugh. Breaking everything, line by line. Then he gets transported to the moment he got shot. It happens again, and then he tries to get the boys on track, but fails a lot. He then leaves the timeline to take a break. Donut figures out Wash can be a useful ally, seeing how he is both in and isn't in a time. He's not in the timeline with both was and wasn't shot, making him a interesting time, And he manages to break Wash out of it. So they figure out Donut and Wash to, can do it, is to intercept the Reds and Blues before they were able to save Wash from being shot, thus undoing the paradox. And before they were able to do it, unfortunately, Genkins is able to get rid of the portal gun. So they now have to go back and get everybody on track to fix everything. But anyways, so Donut and Wash's dynamic is fun. But Epsilon/Church has Genkins. They figure out they need to ask somebody that can't possibly know what they know. So we get a fun montage of Wash trying to talk to Carolina before eventually asking the triplets. And they kind of save everything by telling him to go to a point where Carolina would answer the question. Turns out she re-enlisted in the UNSC, so Wash heads there to speak to her in a time which would work. So she listens to them and head to the Blood Gulch outposts, so he can get someone impersonate Church. And yeah, Caboose is an expert at killing Church. If Genkins is hurting Church, so he hurts Genkins. So after the light got sent through the black hole, it got sent to the beginning of time, because the black hole sends you back to the beginning. Yeah, strange lore. Just saying. So back to the present, or the area that is needed. And Caboose is already saving the timeline. He understands everything. And when it comes to time travel, so, I mean, he gets angry and tries to do his best to get them to finally listen. I love how we got Donut character development in literally the middest season. Like, ever. He then shows them time travel. Caboose is doing everything at once, so he is good at this for, like, no reason. Caboose is smart, and it's so strange, but I love it. So they go to fixing the timeline. Genkins is trying really hard, to fuck everything up. And they're re-advancing Tucker's character. He gets a small goodbye of the full hymn before Wash makes sure everybody gets their goodbye before they set everything right. Before him having the brain injury. Genkins absorbs her power and plans to obliterate the Reds and Blues. All they have to do is him get shot. Krovos wants to stop Genkins, and, the club was on the way to kill Genkins. The club, that Caboose asks for, yeah, that's the only thing that can kill Genkins. With that, they get sent to prison. Genkins took them to the prison that uses their mind to trap them in their greatest fear. To get them to fall into the black hole, which black hole, they will die, but they'll just get sent at the beginning of time. So, they are living their worst fear. Donut, with help from Doc, they need to help each other to save everyone. Doc and O'Malley work out their differences and become one person, essentially. Wow, that always confused me, you know what I mean? Never made sense, but yeah. So, yeah, Caboose already kind of escaped it because, he doesn't understand what it is. I love Caboose. Best character, man. So, they completely trick Genkins, and, he gets into the black hole, and it doesn't kill you. It sends you to the beginning. Genkins figures out and does the loop. He is Krovos, and Krovos is him. It's in a closed loop. Wash wants everybody to be with him when it happens. And we hear a song that we've heard before. It gets a new meaning. It's funny how a simple song can be given new meaning with just simple change of scenery. Lopez was sent, back to the beginning of time. And with that, the show got an ending. Upon a full rewatch, this is not as bad as I remember. I will admit, it's not even great, but it did give a full closure at least. But with Zero, it did kind of kill what was left of Red versus Blue, and it was left in a broken state, never to be continued. But when they knew the company, Rooster Teeth, was about to get shut down, Bernie got up, said, "Hold my beer, I got some work to do," and wrote the best peak he could do. So enjoy my Halo 3 Ultimate Firefight gameplay from the Halo 3 Ultimate Firefight mod on PC on MCC, because
I am not letting copyright come in here and touch me.
whether it makes it into the final video or not, I don't know. I don't know why I said that, to be fair. So anyways, without further ado, let's see how Bernie ended the longest running web series in history. So we get a strange fake out of RetroCon, and Dylan in this timeline still got to talk the Reds and Blues to some extent. Some people think it is fake, so she gets Kakaina Griff out, or sister. Explosions happens as the Meta walks in and tries to get Andrew to spill info she doesn't have. The Reds and Blues are at unknown base, post-chorus. Griff is trying to get out of work by fucking with Sarge, so yeah. Caboose knows Spanish, and the voice actor for Caboose is different. It's noticeable, but that situation is a whole hell of a lot of weird, so I'd rather not explain it. So his helmet is messed up, and Lopez fixes it, and out comes Epsilon fragment. Epsilon, a fragment of a fragment. Oh boy. Doc is talking to Wash, and something happened to Wash. Don't know. So Meta breaks into the shipyard. Meta Tucker, the AI fragment, took over Tucker and made sure he didn't have a chance to fight back by breaking him mentally. If this feels disjointed, I got no choice, not being able to show you anything. And they know Tucker is missing, and Caboose is trying to get the Reds so they can help Epsilon 3.0. So, this is Church 7.0? Actually, 4.0, or 5.0, whichever one. And Griff kinda loses his shit. A tone that happens all throughout the season. Or movie. So Epsilon is a recording, and due to different time perception, he was able to, was going with what was most probable, and had recordings. God, I love this, but man, I can't show much. Epsilon can't accurately predict Caboose. Fair. So he needs the Reds. We get a fun joke about modern day content creation, and we get a lore dump. This joke is so good. And the reason the AIs didn't restore into alpha, kind of a alpha, pre-alpha, as long as they keep the memories away, he can't reform. The Reds want to leave, and then we cut to Meta looking for the fragment, and they keep Tucker in line by making him see 100 years of his friends dying in a second. Gamma runs the program, and it breaks Tucker. Back to the Wash subplot, he tries to leave, and Doc Gray tells him he's okay, and he is crazy. So Gray makes sure he gets back in his room. We then switch back to the Reds, and Simmons convinces Sarge to help Caboose, and thus, Plan begins. They need a way off-world. Sheila calls the old Pelican driver from Freelancer. So they wonder why they left Caboose with the files in his helmet, and it's an old helmet. It can't be remotely accessed. So the plan is to use the capture unit that the meta used against them. Remember earlier? Anyways, if you would remember, it was captured by, Charon. Anyways, so the facility security is being worked from home. This is fun. So they make it to the room where Meta happened to be in a case and tricks them. He starts kicking ass as they freak out. And how dare he hurt Caboose? And he manages to break. And Tucker gives him some time. No! Sarge! And in his death, he gave Simmons his shotgun. He trusts Simmons with the new leader. And he was hard on Griff because he believed in him. Doc is trying to help Wash get out, while everyone returns to Blood Gulch for one last fight. And Simmons gives Griff a way out. But Griff sticks around for one last mission. And the Blues have a backup of their own. A plan to use memories to bring someone back. So they tell stories by the campfire as a montage starts to play with Waning Moon by Bare Naked Ladies start to play. This is peak. Bernie, you know how to hit somebody right in the soul. So I watched... This is so peak. You guys have to watch it, man. Check it out. I'm pretty sure you see it on the on the Rooster Teeth website, or join the Blood Gulch Discord server and ask for the Google Doc. Anyways, Meta arrives and everybody prepares for the grand finale. Simmons has trouble reloading the shotgun. He then figures it out. Wash finally gets to the canyon and jumps off the cliff so the recovery beacon plays. And to get a friend of ours on the way. Caboose tells the story of Freelancer and what happened. Tex, Church, and Carolina. What a way to end the show. They fight for one last battle. We get a recap of the show. Caboose is so wise. And when that, Caboose brings back, not Church, someone meaner. Someone who can really kick the ass of the meta and show him who's boss. Tex. But first, Griffin Simmons has to have their final showdown for fan service. Round 2. And it is so fun. But she gets her ass kicked. Meta starts to win, and off goes Wash, his recovery beacon, and in comes Carolina. Tex is currently not there. And she starts to kick some ass. But Carolina starts to lose. But Tex is not out. She comes back. Back in black, man. That song's a banger, you know? But anyways. They're battle ready. The banger song playing. This right here gets good. The animation is really, really good. Caboose tries to help as the mountain, crumbles because, explosions. Tex gets her ass fucking... Carolina gets her fucking ass folded. And Meta starts to win and lays down the brass task. She can't win. She is a shadow, a ghost of a memory. Of a failure. But the Reds and Blues memories... She always kicked their ass. I fucking love this show. So she starts really kicking ass, and she restrains him. This is enough for Simmons to make an actually good throw, and with that, checkmate. We win, but it also takes Texas. All the AIs are gone. This is the end we get. Our last goodbye with Church and Allison. They finally get their happy ending. Tucker wakes up sometimes later, back to normal. And Wash and Carolina and Caboose decide to destroy the memory unit, thus destroying the cycle. Caboose takes a break, and Wash and Carolina have a moment. Turns out Doc died saving Wash, and he was having PTSD-fueled grief that kind of came out of nowhere, and this ending hits me right in the feels, dude. And Griff has his way out and takes it. It's sad that he leaves. And it ends. It's hard to think it's over. It's been over for a few years. It brings a tear to my eye, you know? To get, you know, to see this. I mean, I know it's fully over this time. It ended, like, fully ended, but after rewatching all the seasons, I knew it couldn't go on forever. It's just sad that it's all over, and there will never be another season. But if Rooster Teeth ever brings us back, I mean, you know, they are back. If they ever come out with anything new, I'd check it out, given how much this show alone has meant to me. To that point, that I spent so much time on each video. This show made me a different person, honestly. Like, it's helped me so much. And Bernie, if by some chance you're watching this, from the bottom of my heart and all Rooster Teeth fans, thank you for this ending. Now, I'm going to end this before I start to tear up. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, all the YouTuber stuff. That's Lore Maker, signing off.